Today, we'll be taking a look at the latest with Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, Sonya Deville, and more. Let's start things off with Sonya Deville and the backstory to how her WWE official persona came to be. On WWE television, we don't get much of an actual backstory or explanation at all to why Sonya was returning as an official after spending several years as an in-ring competitor. Sonya lost a loser leaves WWE match, and a few months later, she's one of the bosses. That was it. We didn't get any story for how that came to be. But Sonya recently spoke with Metro UK and explained the behind-the-scenes story on how this role was given to her. She had this to say, quote, "It was actually a conversation with Vince where I was in the office. We were talking about how I was going to re-debut, and I just kind of mentioned to him that I had these three-piece suits that I've been waiting to wear on TV, and I thought a cool part of my character could be that I rock lady suits, and I'm kind of a bad bee, and I could be a boss." I wasn't speaking literally, but he kind of sat there and envisioned what I was saying with the suits. He was like, "Do you have one on you?" I was like, "Yeah, I have my all-black one, but it's at my hotel." He's like, "Well, send someone to go get it." Next thing you know, I was walking down the hallway in a three-piece suit. I didn't know where it was going, and it just organically evolved from there, end quote. So that's the story on how the WWE official Sonya Deville came to be. Sonya was just pitching to Vince McMahon how she wanted to wear these suits backstage as part of her character, and she figuratively wanted to be a boss. But Vince McMahon loved the look so much that he literally turned her into a boss. That's how the persona came to be. Sonya started as an assistant. Now she's an equal peer to Adam Pearce, and appears to be at the start of her return to the ring arc as well. So it's a busy schedule for Sonya Deville, and we'll see where her story and direction takes her next. Now let's get into everything Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, and Paul Heyman related. Roman Reigns wasn't on the show, but his story still had some progression even through his absence. Sami Zayn opens up the show talking about his plans to sue Roman, Heyman, Brock, and others. Heyman makes his way to the ring to confront Sami Zayn about those lawsuit claims, and also mentions how Roman Reigns isn't here tonight because he's training for his title defense at Day 1. Sami starts to lose his patience and starts to threaten Paul Heyman. Even the male nurses turned into threats and started to corner Heyman as well. And that's when Brock Lesnar appeared. Now this moment right here is a vintage Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar trap. When Heyman and Lesnar were together, Heyman usually would be confronted in the ring by Brock's opponent. And when it seemed like things were going too far and the individual was about to put their hands on Heyman, Brock would always come out running down the ramp to make the save. Well, that's quietly what we saw right here on this opener to SmackDown. Paul Heyman runs his mouth, gets cornered by three guys, Brock Lesnar makes the save, just like how things used to be. But the new babyface hunter and farmer version of Brock Lesnar doesn't just come in the ring and start throwing people around right away. No, he actually sits down and has a full conversation with Sami Zayn, convincing Sami Zayn that he did him a favor last week and how he couldn't beat Roman Reigns. Brock even invites him to go hunting up north. As Brock appears to leave the ring quite friendly with Sami Zayn, that's when Paul Heyman couldn't bite his tongue any longer and had to speak out. He mentioned how the Brock Lesnar of old never would have been having this conversation and doing all this other stuff with Sami Zayn. The old Brock Lesnar would have taken out everyone right away. Paul Heyman got real caught up in the moment there, and even said that Brock Lesnar will most likely be the next WWE World Champion, which is obviously, without saying, a huge dig to the man he's supposed to be loyal to, Roman Reigns. Was Paul Heyman trying to say that Brock Lesnar will most likely dethrone Roman Reigns? That's what it sounded like, and it's an embarrassing look for Roman Reigns. Why is your guy out there saying that Brock Lesnar will most likely be a champion again? Very weird stuff that's meant to build the drama there with Heyman. So Brock Lesnar hears all of Paul Heyman's comments and snaps back to his old self and takes everyone else. Brock Lesnar was asked backstage about why he came out there tonight, and he passed the question along, saying that you should, as his advocate, Paul Heyman. This isn't anything new. Like we've been discussing for a while, Brock Lesnar hasn't been hiding his relationship with Paul Heyman at all. Brock told us right away back in August that he was still working with Paul Heyman, and he continued to tell us the same thing month after month. Guess Roman just doesn't believe it, or maybe Roman is even going deeper, knows about it, but just decided to keep Heyman close with an entire keep your enemies closer sort of mentality and game plan. And when you think deeper into it, it really does make a lot of sense for Heyman and Brock Lesnar to still be working with each other. Take that opening segment for example. Why is Paul Heyman walking and strutting down the ramp with so much confidence, despite the fact that Roman is away and he's completely alone? Maybe Heyman was confident because he told Brock Lesnar to come out to the ring if things go wrong. If Heyman truly set all this up, it makes sense to why Brock said to Paul Heyman about why he went out there tonight, implying that it was Heyman's plan all along. Kayla Braxton approaches Paul Heyman about what Brock said, and he turns it down as usual. But when she asked Heyman about how Roman would react to everything that happened tonight, it was a very rare occasion that Heyman was speechless and walked away with a look of fear on his face. Brock Lesnar also had another segment later on in the show that seemed to provide some closure for his issues with Adam Pearce. Brock mentions how he took out a moose and named it after Adam Pearce, and he sarcastically thanked Adam Pearce before slapping him a few times on the back. On top of all of that, Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman drama, the Usos got pinned during the main event of SmackDown. So Roman Reigns is going to be very furious for a handful of reasons when he gets back to SmackDown. Like Roman always says, he leaves for 1 week and everything goes off the rails, which it definitely did once again. You have Jimmy and Jey getting pinned in the closing moments of the show, and Paul Heyman absolutely losing it and marking out for Brock Lesnar. So Roman has a lot of topics to attack next week. A lot of fans are discussing if this was the last straw for Paul Heyman. Does Roman Reigns cut ties with Heyman after seeing some pretty strong evidence that something is going on between Heyman and Brock? Well, in a realistic setting, yes, that probably would have been enough. But considering this is TV drama, it seems more likely that Roman will just keep by Heyman's side just to build more tension for the story. If Roman fires Heyman, you sort of just eliminate the drama, and that's obviously not what they want to do. They want to keep building it up and have the audience wondering about what's going on with Heyman. So Heyman will most likely stand by Roman's side until he actually makes a move to betray Roman Reigns. It will make Roman's character seem a bit foolish if he literally allows Heyman to destroy the bloodline from within. But hopefully that's not the case. But what are your thoughts on everything going on with Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar? Do you think Heyman can be trusted? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.